Now that spring is coming, it's a great opportunity to capture the colors of the flowers that are blooming everywhere. When I make spring-related photos, instead of making a broad composition like this one, where you have a lot of elements that are distracting, I like to focus on certain things. I like to come close and focus on the details and make a subject of a flower or, for example, an insect. Keeping this focus in the details is even more important when making photos of the wildlife, like for example this little bee. In order to make photos like this, there are different things to keep into account, and one of them is the focal length that you're going to use. For this photo, I used the XF 1855 from Fujifilm, and you can see that it's set to a 55 focal length here. And you can see the details are quite good and it's focused. If you move to a broader lens, like a 35 millimeter, like this one, you start getting more things in your frame and you start losing the focus of that. And that said, this photo is still good, but what I want to show you, and I'm gonna start with the raw photo without any editing, is this photo made with, you can see that there's no information about the lens, because this is a manual lens. This is a very old lens, the Helios 44-2. And this one creates this very interesting bokeh in the background, which is, to my taste, even a little better than the one created by the 1855 from the Fujifilm. This very old lens can be found sometimes for 10 euros. I know I grabbed mine for that amount in Berlin. And it's super great to have this beautiful bokeh in the background and focus on your element, on your subject. And we're going to start editing this photo and try to bring up the colors and focus more on these two that are very crisp, these two flowers in the front. And we're gonna try to mitigate the brightness in these areas because it's a bit distracting. And in general, we're gonna try to make it more focused here, just like I did here. So we're gonna start, since this photo looks a bit cold, and that's because I made this photo on a very cloudy day. We're gonna start by making it a bit warmer, just like that. And we want to also add a little bit of contrast because this lens is, the Helios is quite good, but the details are not great. And sometimes it can be a little soft, even though it's perfectly focused. So we're gonna go to the sharpening panel in Capture One, and we're gonna bring it up all the way to the third preset. You can see how it changes. And this is still good. It doesn't stress the image. It doesn't create undesirable white areas around the edges. So you can see that it's already crisper. You can see that there is some noise here next to the flowers, and you can remove that with the noise reduction from Capture One. You can see how this increases or decreases the noise. I'm not a huge fan of removing all the noise, but I'm just gonna remove it just a little bit to make the photo more smoother. So now we have a good starting point, and I want to draw the attention to these two, and there are different techniques to draw the attention to elements. So for example, you can change the luminosity on the subjects. You can change the saturation of the color in the subjects. Also, warmer colors attract the attention more than other colors. We're gonna go and create a mask here that encompasses this area, because I want to reduce a bit the attention to the edges, and we're simply gonna bring the luminosity down. and also increase a little bit of the contrast there. And now I want to bring up even more these little flowers. I need to create another layer. And I'm gonna paint in this flower and these flowers. And another technique to bring up the attention to an element is make it sharper. So we're gonna use the clarity in these two. You can see how that enhanced them. I'm gonna reset it. Maybe it's good not to push it too much, but I'm gonna nevertheless push it a little bit more because I want them to be very highlighted. Okay, maybe this one we can bring a little back, the luminosity. And again, another thing I want to do is to highlight the color of the flowers. But I don't want to increase the saturation for the whole image because it's gonna start looking a bit unreal. So we're just gonna go here to the color selection panel, and we're gonna sample this color, and we're gonna increase the saturation only for the flowers. With this panel, we can also change the hue, so we can make them a bit more purple. I still would like to make the top portion of this a bit darker, so I'm gonna add another layer, and I'm gonna create a mask here, and we're gonna decrease the luminosity again of this, like so. Maybe we can expand it a bit more there. And I don't want to affect the flowers, so I'm gonna use the luma range, and we're gonna display the mask. This we're gonna leave it like there, and I want to affect more or less the luminous areas. So now we're not affecting the flowers that much. You can see the before and after that. The flowers are more brighter. But I still think this one is a bit distracting. So I'm gonna rasterize the layer, and I'm gonna paint, because right now this is white. I'm gonna paint there, and here too, to darken all these areas. And I'm gonna remove the mask from the flowers completely. So now it looks like I expected. And there it is. I think it's always good not to go crazy with things, with the adjustments. We highlighted these two flowers very upfront, and the rest is has a very warm color combination, similar to my original practice image. One thing that I noticed while doing this is that this this portion of the flower is a bit brighter. So what we can is extremely bright. So what we can do is reduce that a little bit, adding a layer and painting on it. Once you have your image edited the way you want, it's easy to move those changes to other photos in your library. You can go to adjustments, copy adjustments, and then go to the next photo, and you go to apply adjustments, and we apply all the layers. Some of the layers might be okay, like these general ones, but others we need to adjust. Like for example, this one, I want to apply all these settings to this one because I want it to still be blurry. I rather apply it only to this and to the one in the center. So what I usually do is to clear the mask and then just paint the mask again. You can see that it instantly brought up some details, and I can paint also on this one. And we have more of these details. For this mask, this also already rasterized. We can also paint here and make some areas darker. For example, here I think there's too much luminosity of the background, and it's distracting for the flowers. It's always good to see where you are painting with the mask. I think this side is okay, but I'm just gonna add a little bit. And like that, you can modify all the areas that you need to adjust the luminosity. So with by copying and pasting the adjustment, you can quickly recreate your style in another photo. That's it for now. See you next time.